Broncos country, what is going on? Maybe, some Charger fans have found their way in here as well. So, hello, Chargers fans. Today we have a very special episode. I'm joined, the trio is back together. I'm joined by Jeremy Auten as well as Marky Sports, and we're doing a draft exercise tonight. That is kind of the brainchild of Jeremy's. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll let him get to it. But y'all be sure to get in the chat, interact with us, like, subscribe, all those things.
Everything.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking in. Jeremy, why don't we just get right into it, man? What is this orange and blueprint you have concocted?
Yeah, so I decided everybody's kind of locked in on what they want to do early. Actually, before I start, I want to just hold on a second. If you see, let's get some good sound here. Hear that?
Yeah, that did sound good.
What do we got?
Oh, Marc, are you seeing this?
Marc, this is for you, buddy.
Let's go. Is that the new Nate Atkins root beer?
Hell yeah. This is the IBC, which stands for Information for Broncos Country right here.
I like that.
Yeah. So we're toasting you, Nate Atkins.
Let's go.
Be nicer when you go to the vape store next time. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Be a little bit more nice. We won't make t-shirts. Oh, I forgot to put my t-shirt on.
Oh, that's right. And I got the I'll get the ginger ale for next time. Since you only have it on a plane, we can do it for a pod.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Exactly. All right. So anyways, this was my idea. Instead of everybody trying to lock in, we have to have Omarion Hampton, we have to have a running back early. I'm going to give you a cheat sheet and many options which way we can go round for round. So the way that I formatted this is we got 4 kind of needs for this running back. Obviously, that's the big one. Oh, real quick, I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Andy, Judson, David Youngkin, what's up? Greg, what's up, man? So the 5-ish needs I've kind of zeroed in on. Obviously, running back, tight end, wide receiver, defensive line, and then I did an other/BPA, depending on how the board falls. So I'm going to go through the first 4 rounds and give you the player that I think would be the best for that round, for that position, for that need. And then we're going to have a 5th, since we don't have a 5th round pick, I did a late day 3 category for each one of those. So we're going to go through about 25-ish players. And if we get this haul, if we get one from each category, no matter how we do it, I think we can win the draft and we can have an amazing haul here. So and I want to preface it by saying Ashton Genty, Tyler Warren, I left them off just because the chances of that happening are pretty slim. I know that the Ashton Genty kind of hype has gone pretty crazy in the last 24, 48 hours with him talking about how the Broncos have talked to him a lot. If he slips, I could see it happening, but I just don't see us going to top 5. That for a running back, for a 5-year investment, that just seems too much for me. But if it happens, I'm not going to complain. He's an amazing player. He's my number 1 if I had, my choice. But those players are not on this just because the chances.
Before you show it, I have to play something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. This is embarrassing. I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, no.
Let's see what's Greg saying. Guaranteed there will be a surprise pick in the first. I'm not sure who Sean is picking, but I really feel he is moving up for someone. Yeah, I mean, Sean is a scheming dude. He falls in love with somebody, I can see him doing the same thing.
What you got, Marc?
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No, we didn't hear it.
Oh, let's try it again.
They cut out right at the beginning.
We just heard it for a split second.
I probably have to figure out a better way to do it, but it's the draft, the like the pick,
the chime.
So The chime.
There you go.
The NFL draft chime.
Yeah.
So think about that in your head, but take us away, Jeremy. Let's get this. I like this. And we're using a different platform because we were sick of PFF shattering our hopes, thinking that we're going to be able to get all of our players in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, we're going to try this one, which it might even be worse. I mean, I don't even know, but we're not going to do any trades. This is just going to be straight mock draft, but this is at pick 20 what you've kind of put together for us, Jeremy, and I think this will be really fun to talk through in terms of cheat sheets. So, again, guys, remember, we have kind of 4 positions of need. Jeremy's kind of identified kind of his targets for each position at each round. So let's talk through what we got here in terms of options for our first round pick here. Take it away, Jeremy.
And I'm not guaranteeing, obviously, any of these guys will be there. These are all, if the beauty of the mix and match is, even if somebody's off the board or maybe 2 or 3 positions are off the board, that other guy is there, and you can, this is the time to take them because the other guys aren't there. So we're going to start with running back. Obviously, Omarion Hampton. I think he's the only person worth the 20th pick. If we did go for TreVeyon Henderson, I would like to trade back. I think that's a little rich for a guy. I love him. Don't get me wrong, but he's going to be a rotational back. He's probably only a 5-year, investment.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with injury. He's dealt with injuries. He's dealing with the foot injury. So to me, I put him later on. So for running back for me, Omarion Hampton, even though he's probably not my number 1 pick out of these 5 guys, if we went that route, you're not going to hear me complaining. He is a big, bad man. And, he can do it all. He's what Javonte could have been without the injuries, plus more. I think he's a little bit shiftier. He doesn't run to contact. He's got a little more wiggle than that. And he's just a bad man. I mean, you saw what he did. He helped, who's the quarterback for North Carolina got drafted? Drake May. So much. I mean, he was the quarterback's best friend. And so I think he could do the same thing for Bo Nix. Second, let's go with tight end. Obviously, my guy, this is who I would pick if I had my choice of all 5 of these guys. Colston Loveland.
Let's go.
Dude's a beast. I mean, he measured in huge. He's so much swifter and faster than he measured. I love the guy. I think he's a winner. He's only 20 years old, and I would love to snake him from Jim Harbaugh, and I would hate to have to go up against him. I think this guy could be our Kelsey-ish, Shannon Sharp-ish. I was thinking about it. We have always, every single great quarterback of the last, 2 decades has had a pretty great tight end. I mean, even John Elway, Shannon Sharp, Tom Brady had Gronk. You had Jimmy Graham for Drew Brees. You had Patrick Mahomes has Kelsey. I mean, I think it's almost more important than the running back. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had a running back. Tom Brady didn't have a running back. But what did they do? What did they have? An amazing tight end. Colston Loveland would be a perfect fit, and he's a dog. I love the fact we need to get a little angrier, a little meaner on the offense. He's the guy.
From Idaho.
There you go. I mean, the man's
somebody from Idaho on the squad. We probably have somebody from Idaho. I don't know, but we gotta.
Not afraid to put his hand in the dirt.
No,
grow some
not
potatoes. Yeah, that's. I love it, dude. I mean, he's just. If you listen to him, he's so far ahead of where most guys are when they're 20 years old. He's a national champion. He was like the leader of their team. I just love him. He did so much for JJ McCarthy. You saw what the production, fell off. And the fact that he dealt with an injury and Michigan didn't throw the ball at all this last year. That's the only reason why we'd even have a chance at him at 20. Honestly, If they would have had 2 years with JJ McCarthy, this dude's going in the top 10, in my opinion. Let's move on to wide receiver. Now, I love Emeka Egbuka. Matthew Golden, a lot of people love him. I'm going to say this is a big if Tetero McMillan has the right stuff as far as the interview with Sean Payton, and he's proven, because the guy has been crazy productive. We all talked about that interview he did when he was a freshman in college, and he said, I don't really watch film and I don't really do this. Well, somehow he was the most productive dude in the last 2 years. I mean, he's the guy that could be an absolute home run if he hits. More so than Emeka Egbuka, more so than Matthew Golden, in my opinion. I just think he can do it all. He has height. He can flip his hips with agility. I mean, he's got acceleration. The thing with a lot of these bigger guys is they're so much possession guy that they don't have a lot of yak. He has the yak ability, and that's what I'm really looking for. The only negatives I would say, he's a little slender, and the concern about, his commitment to football. But if that checks out, if Sean Payton drafts Tetairoa McMillan, that tells me he did the research, and I'm in. So that's all I have to say about it. DL, defensive line, I'm going to go Derrick Harmon. Kenneth Grant's another dog.
Yeah.
Derrick Harmon, to me, when I see that the people who comped him were his comps most come back to Chris Jones, and Chris Jones is a guy that he's even said that's who I base my game off of, and I look to. Man, I honestly think Kansas City doesn't win any Super Bowls without Chris Jones. I think he's the most unsung player on their entire team. He's the guy that always is making the big play when they absolutely need to have it. If you can get Derrick Harmon and plug him in and be that disruptor, I mean, our defense is already looking on paper to be amazing. Man, that would be a great, great pick. And then now the other, if for some reason things go crazy and all the guys we love are off the board, or you move back a little bit or whatever, Gray Zabel, the offensive lineman out of North Dakota State, he can play all 5 positions. You just don't want to get yourself into a position. I think he could be the center day one. But let's say, oh, shoot. There's been years in the past where the left tackle's gone down. Garrett Bowles, he's out for 4 games. Well, you put Wattenberg back in center. You can put Gray Zabel back over there. And now you're not like, oh, my gosh, we're leaking from the left. Same with the right. That is such a valuable guy to have on your offensive line who can plug and play to each spot. He doesn't have the longest arms. That's why he's probably better as a guard or center. But in spot duty, he can do it all. So that's just for value position. I just think he's a good one to think about.
Well, that's a wonderful breakdown of these 5 guys. I think now we should just kind of get into talking, I guess, collectively. We'll come to a consensus. But Marc, I want to hear your thoughts right now. Of course, man, this draft simulator is on crack because
Andy had me laughing.
Taking our guy Colston Loveland at 7, and
Cam Ward winning 8.
Yeah, falling to 8. So, we're just we're gonna go with it. But right now, in terms of this list, what you think about it? Where's your mind going?
Who's available? I can't really tell. Sorry.
Oh, let me scroll down. So we got Tet McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, Jayden Higgins in terms of the wide receivers. Interior line, of course, Gray Zabel, Tyler Booker are available. Running back, of course, everybody but Genty is available right now in this scenario. And a tight end, Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, Harold Fannin, and the rest are involved there. So, essentially our defensive line, Derrick Harmon, Walter Nolen, who we did bring in for a visit today. I find that very interesting. I wonder how that went. But both of those guys are still available along with Tyleik Williams.
Okay. I mean, if you're going off of the cheat sheet, what I would probably do is take Omarion Hampton in this situation. If you can't get if Colston Loveland's gone, if the wide receivers that you love are gone, that's where I'd go next. But what do you guys think?
I want to know what Marc thinks. Because he hates that idea.
Yeah, I'm not I think hate's a little bit of a strong word. I'm not a proponent of that idea. It's not like, because like I said, if we drafted Omarion Hampton, I love running backs, so I'll be thrilled and I'll be like, damn, I can't wait to see how he plays. But I just don't think it's ever a smart move in the first round. I think for me, man, I would rank them like of the guys that are available. So Tet is available. Loveland's not.
Tet is available. Okay.
Derrick Harmon's available, right?
Yes.
My choices would be in this order. It would be, and this people might think I'm crazy, but this is just the truth. I would go with the guys available. I would probably say Derrick Harmon, Gray Zabel, Tet McMillan, Omarion Hampton. That would be my 4. And here's the reason why. I look at it like, and I'm super happy you actually brought up Gray Zabel, because it was never an exciting. Nobody's like, hell yeah, we got a guard, you know?
Exactly.
But he's a really good player. I think he's a very, very safe bet to have, and he's going to help your run game in and of himself by being able to upgrade. Because between Wattenberg and Powers, there was a lot of inconsistencies there. They're both really good in the pass game, but in the run game, those guys struggle to be consistent. If those guys are more consistent, the run game in and of itself gets elevated quite a bit. So I'm thinking, all right, you get Gray Zabel, and then you get even Caleb Johnson round 2. I think you're helping the run game out more than if you just get Omarion Hampton, as an example. I'm not like it could be any running back, plug and play.
Yeah.
And then just like you said, the versatility, I think he's gonna have a really good chance of getting hit, like a big hit there. Derrick Harmon, talked about him. I love him. I think he's a phenomenal fit. And then I'm just low on Tet McMillan because I didn't like the video and the stuff that came out. Now, just like you said, if Sean Payton talked to him and they're good with it, then I'm going to be super pumped. Like if we end up taking him, but I can only go based off like what I know. And I just didn't like the attitude and some of the things. And then you hear from others similar things about like his love for football. He kind of quit when he was being guarded by Travis Hunter, which is, understandable. And I think he might be slightly overrated overall as a prospect.
To me, he's just one of those players that even though he makes plays, he's just frustrating to watch. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe I'm just judging him on a different scale because of how he's built physically compared to others, but I don't feel like he maximizes what's there.
Yeah.
That's kind of my issue with him.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And it's like, yeah, sure, he had a really good yak and he was like running away from guys in college, but nothing from his measurables shows that would be the case in the NFL. Like when the games are significantly faster, he's going to need to play more like a big body receiver. So
I will say,
yeah, I love the list. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say this about Tet McMillan. I think one way that you can sell me on him, somebody brought this up a couple weeks ago and I was like, actually that does make sense. Yeah. What if you're just plugging him in to be a Michael Thomas type guy? Like, I think he can be that. Playing that big slot role. So, yeah, I guess it all depends. But I will say, with where I'm gravitating right now towards our first picks is, even though I'm very enticed by a guy like Derrick Harmon or some of the other defensive guys like Kenneth Grant, I just want to ensure that Bo Nix continues to take steps moving forward. I don't want to have no sophomore slump with him. So Hampton would be my pick here. But it's also hard, man. Like, Marc, you made a really good argument for Derrick Harmon that I just absolutely love. Chris Jones, baby. It's could be our franchise, defensive tackle for the next, 10 years. But I guess we need to come to a consensus.
I mean, listen, it's Jeremy's thing. He wants Omarion. I'm good with it, and I'm curious. And I think we should take Omarion because this is kind of where I think about, like, this is why I really can't wait for the draft to happen. So like these questions can be answered. It's like, where do we believe the cutoff is for backs, like in terms of tiers, right?
Yes.
And then where do they how does the league view them? Because there's times where we think to yourselves, man, I don't think Judkins or Henderson will be available at 51. Therefore, making the Omarion Hampton pick makes sense because at least you're getting one of those top backs. But you could have teams that are like, they like Caleb Johnson more, or they like Cam Scadaba more, and then it pushes the other guys back, and then you're like, well, shit, now we could have gotten Harmon and Judkins, for example. So but obviously a lot of it's hypotheticals. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I mean, I'm good with going with Omarion if you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like you guys can decide. I'm fine with either way. The whole point of this is no matter which way we go, we have options later.
We did our we did our running back 0 with Kodiak. So maybe we just go with Hampton and see how this plays out.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. Loveland got taken already by the Jets at 7. So
yeah, it would be Loveland for me if he was there, personally.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that would be a pretty easy consensus pick.
All right, and now we're on our way to round 2. I guess I hit absolutely slow on here, so
that's okay. I have plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, all right. So now this is where we're at here. We'll pull up the round 2 list. So that is TreVeyon Henderson for running back, Mason Taylor at tight end, Jack Besh, TCU wide receiver, Darius Alexander at defensive line, and then also Jeremy, you had Carson Schweschinger. You know, we've talked about some of these guys probably at length throughout the offseason, but Jeremy, would love to hear your thoughts on, well, I guess kind of, or Marc too. Yeah, your thoughts on pretty much everybody but TreVeyon. I feel like we've broken down TreVeyon quite a bit.
Yeah, and we just picked Omarion Hampton, so we can skip TreVeyon for this. Mason Taylor, he's got the NFL pedigree. Obviously, his dad's Jason Taylor. There's a picture of him standing next to Jason Taylor, and he made Jason Taylor's, his dad's, look small. This guy is big. He hasn't grown into his body yet. I think you give him some time, he could be an absolute beast. It's a little bit of projection because he doesn't have as much production as some of these other guys, but if he's there in round 2 at 51, which there's a lot of buzz saying he could even slip into the first round, beginning of the second. So this could be one of those things where he's not there, but he's one of those guys that he's just the size, the pedigree, and he's got the long arms, big catch radius. I just love having like the tight end. And here's the thing about that. I love drafting guys who their parents were in the NFL, the Jonah Ellises, those kind of guys.
Yes.
They're going to walk into the locker room as professionals because they won't be these guys trying to figure things out. They won't need to understand what they should be putting in their body. What kind of food should we be eating? Should I get enough sleep? Should I be partying? These guys are going to be coached from up. Like that's why Pat Surtain was off and running from day one. Mm-hmm. Those guys are always just professionals. I mean, how many different, like the Watts and the Bosas and those kind of guys, when it's a family affair, they just are ready to go. So that's the one thing with him that I really, really like. Moving to wide receiver, Jack Besh. If you guys love Emeka Egbuka, Jack Besh is Emeka Egbuka B. You know, I think he's got the size. He's for Broncos fans, to me, he's got the hands of Ed McCaffrey and the legs of Eric Decker with a thicker frame. And if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will, because this dude just catches everything. He's super swift with like his route running. I mean, this dude is a technician who catches everything. If you can give Bo a guy who's going to run a route and he's going to be there, he's going to block his butt off, he's going to do all the little things, that's Jack Besh. So to me, I love the guy. I mean, to me, there's not that big of a difference between Emeka Egbuka and Jack Besh. So take that for what it's worth. DL, Darius Alexander from Toledo. This dude, he's so explosive with his first step. He is one of those guys that the only reason I think he would even be in the second round is just because he's like a little bit older of a player. I think he's 24, going to be 25. Yes. And he's from a small school. So you just go, oh, I don't know. But man, this guy, he's the power, the violence, like he's a strong in the run defense and he can get after the quarterback. This is like, if you don't get Harmon, you don't get, Kenneth Grant, somebody like that, somebody on the line who is a mainstay. I think this guy could come in and be ready to go. And then my other category, Carson Schweschinger. This guy is getting so much hype lately, so I don't know if he's going to be there in the second round where we're drafting. But if he is, and they really want a guy to have some Dre Greenlaw like insurance. This dude is so instinctual. He's just a dog. And I just love the way he plays. He can kind of do everything. He has the flowing locks, and this everything about this guy's game. I just am like, oh, I would love to have. It's been so long since we've had a legit middle linebacker to just being a beast, and that's what I love with Dre Greenlaw. But this is the young guy that could learn from Greenlaw, and now you have him for the next 8 to 10 years, and you got that position set. So, anyway, you guys are thinking on this one.
Well, in terms of availability, TreVeyon's available, but we just took Omarion Hampton. Okay. Not going to do that. Mason Taylor's available. Jack Besh is off the board in this scenario. Everybody else, let me see if Carson's still here. I think he went off the board. No, he's still available. So Carson Schwechinger's available. Marky, initial thoughts on options here for our second round pick.
I love this list a lot, dude, and it is hard. Really, really hard. Because obviously I love TreVeyon. We've talked about him, but we already took. I love Mason Taylor, man. I think he's going to be so good. Very underrated as an athlete. He was a beast as a freshman. He's not even going to be 21 on draft night. So he's still a kid, dude. And something about I know the gauntlet drill isn't like, the all and be all, but there's a lot of I think you should look into the gauntlet drill a lot, because last year the thing I remember, it was Troy Franklin who absolutely botched it, and he didn't end up being very good. But then you look at what Mason Taylor looked like on the gauntlet drill; it was unbelievably impressive. But anyways, obviously that's just a drill. I think he's a super good player. I agree with you in the fact that he's got the NFL ties. His uncle is also Zach Thomas.
That's right.
So
that's right.
A lot of blood.
His aunt, Joy Taylor.
So. Oh yeah, that's
he's got Joy that
badonk. So he's just got it all, man. Very well-rounded, well-rounded in that sense. Jack Betch, I love too.
Yeah.
Cool thing about him is when he was a freshman at LSU, he was playing with Justin Jefferson, and God, it was somebody else. There was another guy that recently, he's kind of been like a journeyman a little bit. Can't remember his name. And one other big time player at LSU as well. I'm trying to remember the guys that actually went around that same time. They were all had some pretty good players.
Who got drafted last year from LSU? Brian Thomas?
Yeah. No, because Brian Thomas wouldn't have been there at this point, though, I don't think. He might have been.
Who's the other? There a second guy?
It was he got drafted by the Raiders and
Neighbors? No.
I think it was. It might have. Anyway, it was like 3 stud receivers. He was the freshman. He was a freshman that year, and the other guys I think were sophomores. And he led the team in receiving yards and receptions. Before he probably saw but these guys are gonna be really good, so he transferred over to TCU and balled out there. So really like him. I think Sean Payton would. I think Mason Taylor and Jack Betch are 2 guys that Sean Payton would really like. Darius Alexander, I've got a little bit more question marks around, but I get what you're saying in terms of he's a very dominant player. But the older prospect stuff and the fact that he played at smaller schools, because even before Toledo, he was at small schools, I think prior to that, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I'm thinking about Demetrius Knighton. But but he's a super good defensive lineman, rotational guy. I think that there's other guys too. Where's the DL list here?
Pull this up.
Darius Alexander is listed at 6'4", 385. That's insane.
Really? Holy
shit. 385?
That's what PFF has.
I don't know if he was that at the combine. Let's see.
Unless their
that would
draft
be wild.
guide is wrong.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wrong. He was 6'4",
He didn't look
305.
like 385.
Yeah, he was 305 at the.
Oh, is it 305? Maybe it's maybe that's what it is.
Wow, I thought we had another Desmond Watson.
That's 485.
But no, he's a really good player. I mean, I think there's a lot of really good D linemen in this part of the draft too. Love Alfred Collins, love Joshua Farmer, Ty Robinson. I think someone is going to go a lot higher than what people are saying. Omar Norman Lott
on this. Yeah.
Omar Norman Lott's kind of everywhere, but I love the Derrick Alexander, and then Carson Schwesinger I think is really good. I actually saw, I don't know if it was the a PFF, like the NFL Stock Exchange video, or if it was an article somewhere. But he came up as a list of some very surprising potential first-round picks. So it seems like there's a lot of people super high on him. But yeah, if it's my choice and we just took a running back, oh man, that is tough, dude. I would.
Where are we going from here?
I would probably choose
Taylor's there.
Yeah, I guess even assuming if Jack Betch wasn't there, I would make it even tougher. But I would say Mason Taylor for me. But David, what are your thoughts, bro?
I was going to go the same route because, this wide receiver class is kind of tricky.
It is.
I'm open to using a second-round pick on a wide receiver, but the board could fall in a way to where, like, I don't know if I'd necessarily want to take one in the second round over if a guy like Mason Taylor is available. Again, like, still a lot of really good defensive line prospects. But I think for me right now, as we get closer to the draft again, I think just what serves as a tiebreaker for me is just wanting to make sure the offense is fully stocked. And so my pick in this situation would be Mason Taylor.
Okay, make it.
All right. Even though I love Harold Fannin, baby. Sorry, Harold.
Yeah,
Fannin.
that's the thing. That's the thing that's great is even if Mason Taylor's gone, which he definitely could be, Harold Fannin, and then you'll see who I got in the third and fourth round.
Yeah.
Got some other options.
Yeah, let's I'll pull up our third round. This one is very interesting. Because I put him in the thumbnail because I knew we would talk about him. But let's even though we already drafted our running back, right? Why don't you give us a nice little breakdown here, making the case for Cam Skattebo in the third round?
I'm tired of the Cam Skattebo hate. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Now I get like, look, I understand he's a white running back, all that kind of stuff, but the dude literally has been overlooked his entire life. In high school, he rushed for like 6,000 some hundred yards. It's insane numbers. He doesn't get any big school offers. Goes to Sacramento State, completely tears it up for them. Goes to Arizona State, takes them to the college football playoff, and he's still being doubted. I don't get it. Like, I'm not saying he's a perfect prospect. He definitely lacks like the long speed, but this guy's like, if you like Ashton Genty, take away the long speed and you got Cam Skattebo as far as the contact balance, as far as the receiving, as far as just an absolute dog. You know what I love about Cam Skattebo is if you put him in the huddle with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is already getting talked about. I'm not afraid of anything. Talking to the other team. Let people talk trash and then have Cam Skattebo out there. I love a guy that when it's 3rd and 1 or 4th down and you need to get that tough, angry yard, you got that guy. Those are the problems I have with the TreVeyon Hendersons if you're putting all your eggs in that basket. Mm-hmm. I want a guy who can just get the dirty yards. I can understand that people are like, oh, well, he doesn't know when the play is over. I'd much rather have to pull back on a guy than have to coach him up to be like angry. So that's all I have to say about Cam Skattebo. I'm not saying he's my top 3 running backs or anything like that. But if you can get him in the 3rd round and you haven't picked one yet, I'm taking him all day. Personally, I just think the guy he's proven it over and over and over. I'm not going to doubt him. And even though he could clean up some of his pass protection, it's just, that's more of a matter of technique. It's not a matter of size or want to. This dude wants to almost murder the person who's coming after his quarterback. And I love that. If you could just get him to be a little cleaner without maybe missing. But this dude, I mean, he's going to give you all the effort. So I'm all about Cam Skattebo. Tight end, Terrence Ferguson. I love Terrence Ferguson. He's going to walk in. He's already going to have the chemistry with Bo Nix. They played together at Oregon. Terrence Ferguson's a local kid, went to Heritage High School. Great kid. I think this guy is just so well-rounded. And then his RAS score, his relative athletic score, was so high. I think it was like a 9.7 or something.
Wow.
Dude is an absolute animal. You don't always see it on tape, but this guy, when I was watching all the Bo Nix stuff and I was breaking down Bo Nix and cutting up all the highlights, he's making one-handed catches in the corner of the end zone against Washington in the most big, one of their biggest games ever. The dude is clutch. He made a catch right at the end of the half of the first Washington game with Bo Nix, where Bo Nix gets blitzed right down the middle. Bo has to go to his right. He sees Terrence just cutting to his left. He throws it low and just burns it in there. And you would think a guy of his size would not be able to make the tough catch, right? The shoelace type of catch. And he's just clutch. 4th down, touchdown. They're in the game. I'm all about Terrence Ferguson. I think he would be an absolute perfect Denver Bronco. Let's go to wide receiver, Kyle Williams. Now, this is one of those guys that if you put the ball in his hands, he can hit a home run at any time. This guy is absolutely electric with the football in his hands. Sean Payton loves the screen game. Bo Nix loves to do the short passing. If you can get Marvin Mims over here, Kyle Williams over here, you don't know where to cover. Man, this dude can be absolutely electric. Troy Franklin the same way. I think that he could just be so dynamic for Sean Payton. He can be one of those guys that, like Chris Sims, who I really respect a lot of how he breaks down guys. He had him as wide receiver 2 in this class. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying that I'd have him as wide receiver 2, but if you could get him in the 3rd round, I'm all for it. Going to DL, Alfred Collins. He's one of these guys that he's just so big and strong, and he can do pretty much he's one of those guys that if you don't get the Kenneth Grants, if you don't get those type of guys, if you could get Alfred Collins in the 3rd, he's going to be one of those guys that you have on the defensive line for 8 to 10 years if he stays healthy. He's a dog. I mean, he's got exterior excellent length. He's really strong upper body, super violent, and then he can fight through double teams. He's one of those guys that can swallow up 2 gaps. He's one of those guys that, man, 6'6", 332, I'm all about it. And then on my other, Jared Wilson, this is your center in this draft. He's probably the highest rated center if you are viewing Gray Zabel as not just a center. He's a guy that can come in, be your starter day one. If you can draft a starter with your 3rd round pick who's going to be a plug and play guy, he's played for a national champion. The guy's got size. He's a really good athlete. And yeah, that's one of those guys that for a team that doesn't have a lot of holes, center is one that we could really upgrade. So
yeah. Wonderful breakdown, Jeremy. Marc, we'll go to your thoughts, on this as well. I don't know if you noticed this, Jeremy, but everybody that you had on this list is gone outside of Cam Skattebo and Jared Wilson. Yeah, so I think this makes our decision kind of easy here. But I'm curious about some of your thoughts on these players that Jeremy has up here.
Yeah, I think the thing about is Cam Skattebo is just like you said, the white running back thing is a real thing. I think Toby Gerhart is what a lot of people compare him to. It's very stupid. Yeah. Something is really intriguing about the idea of being the NFL team that has the white corner and the white running back.
Yes.
The difference is I don't think Cam Skattebo would wear the long sleeves to cover it.
No,
but
no, he's not afraid.
I'll say this. I feel like with Cam Skattebo, it's so hard to find things that you don't like. I think for me, it just comes down to I just don't think his skill set will translate to the NFL in a sense of you're already a very kind of below average athletically. That's going to go down. But my main concern with him is, dude, he's such a violent runner and he's gotten already so much punishment throughout his college career. How is that going to translate to the NFL? He would be better served as a complimentary back, like a Jaylen Warren type of back where he's not carrying 30 times. I mean, again, he certainly can, but from a longevity standpoint. But I mean, just like you said, there's a lot to love. People talked about the fumbles being an issue, but he's also had so many carries that when you look at it from a percentage standpoint, it's not that big of a deal. He's a really fun player. I think anybody would love to have him on their team for sure. Terrence Ferguson, for whatever reason, I haven't been super high on him. Just because I feel like he does a lot of things fine, but he doesn't really do anything very, very good. And I think he's a little bit more of a project, especially from like a functional tight end. Like if he's just going to be a route running, just not up against the line type of tight end, I think he could be fine. But I don't love him, but I don't hate him. I'm just kind of fine with him. Kyle Williams, I really like.
Yeah,
I think he's dynamic. I think he's fun to watch. A lot of Emmanuel Sanders vibes. Was it you that compared him to Emmanuel Sanders, David, or Jim? I heard it somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
I think you did, and I was like, that's a really good comp because like size wise, very similar. Dude just gets open. Love his game. Alfred Collins, I've talked enough about. He's phenomenal. I think he's very, very good. Only thing that worries me about Alfred Collins is what kind of a ceiling he's got. He just seems like a very pro-ready player, but I don't know how much of a ceiling he's got. But I don't always usually care about that because I feel like if you're already really good to go to the NFL, I mean, even if he just incrementally improves a little bit, he should be really good. And then Jared Wilson would be a really intriguing pick because he's a very, very, very good center, and he would be an immediate upgrade. I'm curious how we handle that position. Because, yes, we could upgrade it, but also, Alex Forsyth, he was the kind of guy that he wasn't as good pass blocking, but he was better at run blocking. So if he improves his pass blocking, can he make a push for that? Could be something interesting there too. But
yeah, I like the idea of bringing up O-line here because it is a spot where I could definitely see us going with Ben Powers. Maybe here one more year again. I'm fine with Luke Wattenberg returning to be the starter. However, if there's a guy like Jared Wilson available that we end up picking, like I'm not going to be upset about that at all. I would be intrigued by this, no doubt about it. There are some like other running backs here that I know this might seem a little rich, especially for, because we can get day 3 guys, but if round 3 kind of looks like this, man, and we didn't draft a running back yet, I think we would be in a really nice situation here because there would just be a lot of guys that I would be really thrilled about. Guys like RJ Harvey, I feel like I'm getting more and more excited about as we're getting closer to the draft.
I love
and Devin Neal, I know he has slipped because, he didn't test as good as maybe some other people would have expected, but similar to Cam Scattaboo, you turn on the film and there's not a lot that you don't like when they're actually playing, right? Mm-hmm. So I really do like Devin Neal. If I just wanted to go balls to the walls right now, I would argue, screw it, man. Let's just pick a second running back here at the 3rd round. But I think that that might be a little drunk Elway. Not sure. Yeah. So,
and I think this is what makes it interesting, right? Like you talk about how's the board gonna look in the 2nd or in the 3rd round, right? Because in real life, if these guys were available, you'd look at the Omarion Hampton pick and maybe you'd feel a little bit different about it,
right?
But then again, if none of these guys were there, you're like, oh shit, thank God, thank God we got the guy and we're good. So,
and that was the whole point of this exercise is all the people who are like, we have to get a running back. Just take a look at what's available in the 3rd and 4th rounds. Mm-hmm. You're going to get guys that are still going to be there, most likely. I mean, who knows? There could be a crazy run on running back, and you didn't take one in the 1st round, and now you're like kicking yourself. But this is such a deep class that for tight end, for running back, for the needs that we need, this is a great draft for us. Because honestly, I could see us, if we traded back and acquired another pick or 2, I could see us getting 2 running backs and 2 tight ends in this draft. Like I would. This is the year to do it. So I'm all about it. Whatever you guys feel like.
Well, of course I want to know what y'all think, but I would prefer to stick with the blueprint list. And so I think that means, man, we go with Jared Wilson. What do you guys think?
You said Alfred Collins is not available?
Yeah, he's gone.
So it's Jared Wilson or Cam Scattaboo? Yeah, and you got to go Jared Wilson.
Piss people off by going Cam Scattaboo. It would be fun, though. I had him in my thumbnail. I'm sorry. I lied to you guys again. my thumbnails. Okay, so now we're moving towards 122, and yeah, like this is going to be very interesting when the draft happens, because I almost feel like this is kind of around a cutoff point for like kind of different tiers of guys, like on defensive line. You could talk about maybe a wide receiver falling there or whatever. But yeah, let's talk about this list right now, Jeremy.
All right.
Yeah.
Round 4, yeah, like you just talked about, Devin Neal.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he didn't test the best, he could. Some people are like, Cecil Lammey loves him. He's like, I would take him in the 3rd round, and then other people are like, he's a 5th or 6th rounder. All I know is if you watched him play against CU, he was a one-man wrecking crew, and he's a bad man. I love his vision. He's tough to bring down. I mean, he might not have the long speed either, but I just like the way this guy plays football. Tight end, if that's still a need, Gunnar Helm, another local guy, went to Cherry Creek High School. He's got the size, 6'5", 258. I mean, just a big, strong dude. He could get better at the blocking, but look what a frame to work with.
Yes.
And his after the catch ability for a guy of that size is outstanding. Huge target for Bo. If you don't have a tight end in this part of the draft and he's available, I would recommend Gunnar Helm. Let's see who else we got.
The sweet name too, bro. Gunnar is such a good tight end name.
Gunnar Helm, Gunnar at the helm, dude. Like
Gunnar at the helm. Yeah.
Bo to Gunnar. That's so sick.
Yeah, it's solid. Solid.
Wide receiver. Here's one of those guys that nobody even heard about a month ago, and now people are like, "Oh crap, who's this guy?" Isaac Tesla from Arkansas. This guy's frame is just, I think he's 6'4", 218, something like that. Just big. Doesn't have the production that you would expect, but man, what a frame, what a ball of clay to work with. This guy's athletic, and he is in the mold of Sean Payton of what he likes as at a wide receiver. Just those tall, like mobile guys. He will make you forget all about little Jordan Humphrey. I just think this guy, it could be one of those gems if whoever picks him, and if you develop him the right way, I think he can be one of those Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, where'd this guy come from type of players. So really love him. JJ Pegues, he's one of those guys that I don't understand why he's being mocked so low. This guy, he is.
Is that how you say it? Is that how you say his name?
That's how I've heard it said.
Okay. Pegues.
Yeah. Pegues sounds phenomenal. I love that. I just didn't know.
Pegues is the way that they said it on Chris Sims' show when he broke down the DLs. That's how they pronounced it. So I didn't know how to pronounce it either. But dude's super versatile, elite quickness, change of direction. Like he pops the offensive lineman at first contact, and just, man, this guy, I think if I'm not, he had like, I think he played I don't know if he played running back or he had like 7 touchdowns as like a ball carrier. Like
he had I think like over 20 carries or something like that. It was actually crazy. They had like these packages for him to run the ball.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I can look it up
right here.
And
300 and something pound.
Now, who knows? This has been wrong before, but PFF has him on here 6'2", 389, which that seems way too high. But they keep messing that middle digit. It's 309.
Yeah.
Is it 3? Oh, is it 3? Okay, 309. But still, I mean, for a guy that size to be carrying the football and you trust him to do that, that tells you how athletic this person is.
Yes.
And just how explosive he has to be. Like, can you imagine handing it to a 310-pound back and being like, go get that yard or go get that, at the goal line?
They say he gained a first down or scored a touchdown on 18 of his 21 rushing attempts.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yes.
So
please.
Cam Scatterbo and all these guys. Just get
yeah, exactly. Here's what I want for Bo Nix. I want chain movers. So if you have to get it as your defensive lineman as your chain mover, I'll take it. It doesn't matter. Get him wherever you can get him. So I just think this guy is being underrated. I don't know. I think he's better than maybe he goes higher than everybody else is saying. But
Killer Shrine Bowl. He had a killer Shrine Bowl.
No, showed up. And then on my other, Jacob Parrish, the cornerback from Kansas State. This kid, I really like him. He is just great top speed, acceleration, really fluid, fast footwork. He's got strong body control. And yeah, I just think if you can add depth to a premier position as cornerback, even though I love Riley Moss and where we're at, I mean, it's smart to do. If you don't love any of the other guys right now, but Jacob Parrish is still there, dude, that's a good pick for me. So take it away.
Yeah, in terms of the guys that we got available right now, I think it would be Devin Neal, Isaac Tesla, JJ Pegues. Let me see if Gunnar Helm is available, but Jacob Parrish is off the board. Okay. So Marc, where are you going?
Oh man, that's tough. I'm intrigued by Isaac Tesla. It's weird with him because wasn't the most productive player. He had a 9.93 RAS.
It's insane.
Out of 10. Dude ran a freaking 4.43, bro. Yeah. That's crazy.
He's a bad man.
But yeah, I mean, so right now we got running back, tight end, and interior offensive line. I think, for me personally, I love Gunnar Helm too. I think he's a really good player.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping that he just ran slow and it wasn't because he sprained his ankle so he could fall a little bit selfishly, right. But he totally messed his ankle up. I think I'd probably lean at JJ Pegues here because I just feel like defensive line is somewhere I really want to add. And he is an extremely interesting and intriguing type of a prospect with kind of what he can do. Not just because of running the ball, but he's just violent, man. He's a really good player. He pops a lot. He was overshadowed quite a bit by some other dude. Ole Miss's defense was just stacked in general.
Walter Nolen, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Walter Nolen was there, and then they had or does Eman Warrior play for South Carolina?
They had the guy with
always confused those guys. Princely Omarion.
Yeah.
I always confuse South Carolina with them. So, but I know that Ole Miss had a lot of really good players on their defense too. So he kind of got overshadowed a little bit there. So he'd probably be my pick for that reason because of the adding to the defensive line, and I think round 4 is really good for him. Mm-hmm. Jacob Parrish for sure. If he was available, you would have to consider it.
Yes,
but I do think I would still probably take Pegues over everybody.
And you said the people still available: Devin Neal, Tesla.
Gunnar Helm. Yeah,
is Gunnar Helm
everybody but Parrish.
Oh, everybody but Parrish. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we took the tight end, we took the running back, we haven't taken the wide receiver, and we haven't taken the defensive lineman. So
yeah.
I'm probably partial to defensive line here with Pegues. He's just a player that I've just liked all draft season, so he'd be my selection.
Okay,
as well.
Let's do it. All and right. Chris Sims, another guy, he said he liked Pegues more than Walter Nolen. Walter Nolen, for some reason, is polarizing for some people. I don't know. But, yeah, Pegues, if you can get one of those underrated guys late, that's how you win the draft,
Yes. Yeah, I like going trenches right here. I think that's kind of fun, and it should open up for us to, get some other receivers, maybe. Get another running back. We'll see. Let's talk about the day 3 guys that you got, since our 6-round picks are all kind of around each other. I like that you just have one list here.
Yeah. So instead of just being like, this is the first guy we should look at, whatever. Brashard Smith, there's a few different running backs here that, depending on what type of back you draft earlier, if you draft one earlier, you can get kind of the complement later. So since we went with Hampton, who's just this big hulky guy, we could go with Brashard Smith, LaQuint Allen, somebody like that, who, or even, if a Bayshall Tootin falls or one of or Trevor Etienne or somebody like that, just a great compliment. Brashard Smith, former wide receiver. He's just, 5'10", 196, played for SMU, light on his feet, arguably the best route runner amongst all the running backs, which makes sense because he's the wide receiver. Mm-hmm. We kind of have Marvin Mims as playing that gadget role now, but it's kind of a tell when you have Marvin Mims in the backfield that the other team is like, oh, Marvin Mims is like lining up in the backfield. If you have Brashard Smith back there, it's not the tell. So you can have Marvin Mims doing something else and on the field with Brashard Smith. So I really like how versatile he is, and just he's one of those home run hitters that if Omarion Hampton is worn down the team, and then in the fourth quarter you bring out Brashard Smith and just puts the knife in the heart. So I really like him. Tight end here, Jake Brenningstool. He's one of these guys that is a thinner prospect, but still 6'6", and he's a really good pass catcher. Yep. He'd be a guy who would be good to learn from Evan Ingram. If you're drafting him late in the draft, I just think tight end typically takes a couple years to kind of get the most out of. So if you draft this guy, he can put on a little more weight. He can learn from Evan Ingram. He can be a guy that is, for as bad as our tight end room has been for the last few years, to have this guy kind of developing while we have Evan Ingram would be a nice player, really good hands, and he plays with an edge. So I really like him. The wide receivers, this is the one where I kind of cheated a little bit because I didn't know which wide receiver is going to be there. I know in these mocks Tez isn't going to be there, but because of his size, I could see him slipping, and who knows? Obviously Tez Johnson, Oregon, Bo's adopted brother. I mean, he's probably the smallest guy in the draft for I don't know how many years, but dude can't be covered. He is like, it's like trying to like cover a hummingbird, this guy. So, and he plays with an edge too, and he's smart about his body. That's what I noticed a lot when I watched his tape. He doesn't he's very aware of his size on a football field. So he gets down, he'll get out of bounds. He's not going to take a big hit. He wants to preserve himself. He was the guy who was the MVP in the in their bowl game. He's a dog, man. If you watch the Senior Bowl, you saw him wide open all week long. So you can say whatever you want about his size. The guy can play. Who else we got? Oh, Torrey Horton, CSU. He's one of these guys that could slip because he kind of had a down year after and some injury. He's very slim, but man, I really like Torrey Horton the way he plays. He is one of these guys that just he's so competitive. If anybody remembers that CU game against CSU went to like double overtime, CU could not stop Torrey Horton. Like this dude was just like
running mesh all day.
Oh my gosh. Just
the same play. Oh, yeah. That shit works in Madden too. It's crazy when looking against it.
But he's got really strong hands, big catch radius, really long strider. He's another guy that I could just see, 6'3", 185, so he could put on some weight. But another guy that would fit into that Sean Payton mold of what he likes in a wide receiver. And then Pat Bryant, people know about him. He's kind of one of these all-around guys. Nothing about him is like insanely special, but he does everything well. And another good, bigger athlete, 6'3" as well. And just, again, really strong hands. He's a good blocker. There's not really anything to dislike about him. He just has a good overall game. And the fact that if you can get him late, that's a great pick. And then my last wide receiver, just for the fans, Effin Chisholm III. This guy, he played for Eastern Washington. He's one of these guys that when you watch his tape, it looks like he's playing against like sixth graders, like how much better than he is of everybody else. So it's kind of hard to project like how's this guy going to be. But every year in the NFL, there's always a guy, whether it's Vele or whoever else, that comes in from a small school who dominated at another level, the Wes Welkers, all these other people, and then you just see him and you go, oh my gosh, this guy's uncoverable here too. If he's there late and you want to roll the dice on a guy, Efton Chisholm's he's a bad man.
Was from Eastern Washington. So,
exactly.
Yeah, let's helmet scout it. That's right. Next Cooper Kupp.
Exactly. Defensive line, Zeke Biggers from Georgia Tech, 6'5", 321, like just a massive frame. It's hard to move him. Really good arm length. He's got, just strong instincts and awareness to track the ball and, just a reliable motor and effort. This is one of those real value picks on the DL that if you haven't got one yet and he's there, you feel so fortunate that you are able to still improve your defensive line this late in the draft. And then my other for here, Upton Stout. He's a cornerback from Western Kentucky. Okay. This dude is one of those real small little guys. He's super feisty, but he will come up and tackle. He will blitz the quarterback, and he's a dog. And for a little guy like that, the guy reminds me of so much Darren Williams. I mean, rest in peace. But the same type of mentality, the same type of like little frame guy where you're just like, this guy shouldn't be here. And then but he's just the best football player, but he's just born in a body that happened to be small. So Upton Stout, if you can get him late, I think you just improved your room a lot. And he's one of those guys that is going to set the tone in the defensive backfield. So I like him as well.
Dude, I love it, man. Thank you so much for breaking those guys down, Jeremy. Trying to keep track of who's available. I think we got Upton Stout is off the board.
Okay.
Tez, Tori, and Pat are all off the board. But Efton Chisholm and Jake Brenningstool and Zeke Bridgers are all available. So Brashard Smith as well. So we'll start with Marc again, man. What you thinking of with how the draft has gone? We just went defensive line. Where do you want to go from here, man?
Man, there's so many guys on here that I love. I'm really happy you mentioned Upton Stout because I think he's freaking so damn good, dude. If he was like an inch taller, people, and like 10 pounds heavier, people would have him a lot higher. Another safety to look into or keep in mind,
safety, my bad.
No, Upton Stout is a corner.
Okay, cool.
Some sites have him listed as a safety. I don't know why, probably because he's smaller. But JJ Roberts from Marshall, check him out for the people listening for what it's worth. He's another guy really undersized, so I don't know if he's gonna be drafted late. But Brashard Smith, I love. Jake Brenningstool, I'm a big fan of. I love Oronde Gatson a lot. I thought yes. I saw him available. I would be pounding the table for him because he's probably the most athletic tight end in this entire draft class. He's just super raw, but he also has the family ties. Love me some Oronde Gatson, dude. He was. Yep. I watched a lot of LaQuint Allen, and he kept popping. Tez Johnson, he's just too much of an anomaly for me, and the whole Bo is his brother thing. I don't know if I like that much.
Red flag.
Weirdly enough, like having your brother on the team, I don't know why that's like weird to me, even though it'd be a hell of a cool story. But Torrey Horton and Pat Bryant, dude, I love both of those guys. Efton Chisholm would be a really fun kind of a slot guy for us. Is Zeke Biggers available?
Yes, he is.
Ooh, there's a lot of beef there, man. He would be a good one. Who else? Brenningstool, right?
Yeah, Brenningstool is available. Yeah.
Tez, Torrey, Pat are all gone.
Yeah.
And Brashard
is Efton Chisholm available?
Yes, he is.
That's my pick. I'm going with Efton Chisholm.
Now we have a couple picks here, so you can save the Efton Chisholm if you think he's going to still be there in 6 picks or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Well, who's ranked? I think Efton Chisholm's probably ranked lower, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He might be the smart play to save.
Well, let's see.
Oh, God, my guy Kyle Monangai's there.
Yeah, I know. He's right there.
No,
And
have to go.
The reason why I didn't add Kyle Monangai and I did Brashard Smith is because I knew you were going to talk about him. And so I was like, I'll let Marc talk about him.
Not going to take his thunder.
Dude, Lan Larison's available. What are we doing?
Yeah, Lan Larison's another dude that I thought about putting on there.
Damn.
Dude,
There's a lot of guys.
There's some good options late.
Man. Dude, well, Isaac Tesla is also available in this. So he would count.
Shoot. All right. Well, if it was me, I would take him.
Well, this is your thing. I'll go with Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be other guys, unless you really, really want Efton Chisholm in a like the next couple.
No. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about like guys that you had listed in prior drafts. If Isaac Tesla's there, for sure, take him.
And Tesla is not going to be there most likely, but like some of these different mock sites, they are a little slow. And like I said, a month ago, nobody knew who Isaac Tesla was until he tested, and then people were like, "Oh my gosh, who's this guy?" And then they went back and looked at the tape, and then they were like, okay, this guy was 400th and now he's 100 and he's 109, you know, it's just like one of those guys.
Yeah.
So. Let's see. Well, wide receiver, I
don't think we ever took one, did we?
No,
we just took Tesla.
Oh, we just took Tesla. Okay.
Yeah, but is Chisholm off the board?
I doubt it. I mean,
or
I guess he even went before 191.
Oh, was he off the board already? Okay.
Yeah, he was off the board already. Sorry.
Okay. Well, it's all right.
Oh, no, you're good. It worked out. We got Tesla. And then, so how about the D line?
Dude, still so many D linemen, man.
Cam Horsley's not going to be there at 29, dude. That would be crazy.
No. Yeah, Zeke Biggers right there.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, at this point in the draft, if you have some guys that you've circled as like, oh, I still like this guy, you feel great.
You keep trading back too. Maybe you get some more of those late round picks. I like the late round guys.
And I've heard, are we getting two compensatory picks for Javonte? One for Javonte and one for Riley Dixon. That's what I heard in the 7th round.
Are you serious?
I think next year though.
Is that next year?
I think so.
Are they? I guess they're going to be 7th rounders.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that they were 7th rounders, which means like why would they tell us a year out? So I don't know if that's
we're definitely not getting one this year. I remember hearing something about it. Maybe it's like they thought that they could have, but it doesn't. I'm not seeing anything.
I just heard about it like this morning or yesterday or something like that.
So, oh yeah, the Broncos are currently on the board for 2 2026 7th round picks.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah.
So is there something we could do to lose that?
I don't think so, because unless we sign people in free agency, but I don't.
But I think it's after a certain date. Yeah. It doesn't count towards it.
Then we'll sign J.K. Dobbins. That's how this draft is turning out right now.
It's probably why a lot of teams are waiting on these guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to screw up their comp picks.
Let me pull this back up again. So yeah, we could go Zeke Biggers. We could go. Brenningstool should still be available. Yeah. And then Brashard Smith is out. So
okay.
Maybe we go Brenningstool, Biggers sticks around. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
All right. And that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, end up with all these guys that were on the list. I think would be a nice accomplishment. Oh, F. You know what? Man, whatever.
That's wrong.
No way.
What? Was he still there?
Say what?
Was he still there?
No.
Oh.
He was there before. No, I was just mad. They gave us an F for our Zeke Biggers pick.
Oh.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah, it was like so rude, man. So
rude. So
rude, man. But yeah, so honestly, if you're going to draft a running back in the first round, you probably, you can get away with not drafting the second one, I guess. I think this turned out to be, pretty good. I'd be very happy with a draft like this, man. Omarion Hampton, Mason Taylor, Jared Wilson, J.J. Pigwees, Isaac Tesla, Jake Brenningstool, and Zeke Biggers, man. cover all the main positions and hopefully find some 6th-round gems.
Exactly. And now that we've explained all the players, let's restart it up. We'll make sure we don't pick Omarion Hampton first and mix it up, and we'll see how the board falls with the same type of formula where you're not locked in doing that running back first.
Okay.
Let's save the running back for later.
All right. Yeah. Let's have some fun with this. I'll do the speed.
Yeah, speed it up to fast.
Yeah, fast. Yeah, gotta find
trading.
it fast. All right. We'll hit go right here. And Genty, fell way too far. And here we are.
Yeah, I think Cam Ward went 7th.
So let me pull up the list again. So not Omarion Hampton. So we'll go with Colston Loveland, Teteroa McMillan, Derrick Harmon, or Gray
Is
Zabel.
Loveland available?
Let me see. No, he's not.
Matthew Golden would have to be the actual pick, but going off of this, we'll go.
Derrick Harmon's available, and I'm sure Gray Zabel's still around. So,
and I'm fine with Kenneth Grant. I mean, to me, it was Kenneth Grant and Derrick Harmon were like 1A, 1B. I had to pick one. You guys had talked about Kenneth Grant so much, and other people like Kenneth Grant. So I went Derrick Harmon, but I am 100% fine going Kenneth Grant. I mean, in real life, I just wanted to talk about.
Let's do. I mean, my choice would be Derrick Harmon here.
I think that'd be fun. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So then we'll pull up the second round. And a guy like TreVeyon could be available. We go with him, or did he go off the board? He is available. That would be a lot of fun. Wide receiver, you still, oh my God, you still got Jayden Higgins and Jack Besh available. This could be an interesting. This could be an interesting discussion.
Oh man, this is Marc against himself. TreVeyon Henderson or Jayden Higgins for Marc.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Jack Besh than Jayden Higgins personally.
And
okay.
God, I would be in such a freaking pickle here, dude. If that actually in the second round. I mean, there's no way I would want to pass up on TreVeyon, but I'm curious on if we took a receiver, what the 3rd round running backs would look like.
That's how I'm feeling as well.
So,
yeah, let's just go. Let's go with Besh, man.
Let's do it.
Do it.
It'd be fun.
It's fun. I will say real quick about Jayden Higgins. It's hilarious to me that you're not the biggest Courtland Sutton fan, Marky, but you love Jayden Higgins. And to me, it's no, same dude.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Here's where they're different. First of all, Jayden Higgins obviously younger, a lot more athletic. He doesn't cost us $25 million a year.
Yeah.
And he is a better athlete and more dynamic than Sutton is. And he doesn't drop the ball.
Because of the injury. If you go back and watch Courtland Sutton in college, and then you watch,
I loved it, and I was thrilled when we took him in the second round.
Yeah, and then you watch Jayden Higgins tape back to back. I'm picking Courtland Sutton over him, but Courtland Sutton is now he does not have the yak he used to have. That is the unfortunate thing about Courtland Sutton.
Yeah, so I mean that's where I'm at. It's nothing about the player. Courtland Sutton is very good, but Courtland Sutton at $30 million.
Right.
It's going to be, it's a different kind of story. I feel like he's definitely a replaceable guy. You're not going to pay him a top 15 money, top 10 money when he's not.
I hear you.
But I think he's a lot more dynamic still than Courtland was coming out. But Courtland got really good too, man. He improved a lot from, rookie year to he was about to hit his stride and he tore his ACL.
I know. It was a bummer.
That really sucked. Yeah.
All right, round 3. What do we got?
All right, we're in kind of a pickle right now because Scatterboo went off the board. Terrence Ferguson's off the board. Kyle Williams is not available, but we went with Besh anyway last round. Alfred Collins is not available, and but Jared Wilson's available. So I don't know if we feel the need to delineate or anything right now, but personally, I feel like, man, we still got to go running back. We still got to go running back at 85.
What are the tight ends available?
Gunnar Helm, Mitchell Evans, Rondé Gadsden.
I mean, I would probably choose Helmer Evans because if you look at the running back list, here's my reason why. You look at the running back list, I like the guys I like the most: Damian Martinez, Devin Neal. One of those guys will be available in the 4th. I like both of them.
Dude, hopefully.
Obviously, we know about Kyle Monangai, but like Devin Neal was on the list, so I feel like Gunnar Helm here is a better value. And then if you get Devin Neal in the 4th, you're chilling. You can get both guys. But what do you? I mean, I don't want to like take this over and be like, do this. This mock draft.
No, that's fine. I mean, that's the whole point. Is like you can kind of mix and match your own way of what you think is going to happen. So
yeah,
if you feel confident that the running backs are looking good, that they're going to be there, then yeah, take that other position.
Dude,
yeah,
let's go Gunnar Helm. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get our starting running back here at pick 122. Let's do it. Somebody please be available. Oh yes. Everybody's available. That's right.
Except for Damian Martinez, but
man,
Devin Neal's gone. Oh shit.
It's all right. Who else is there? Is Giddens? Something like that?
Well,
Harvey?
It's kind of RJ Harvey, or maybe we say screw it, dude, and just grab Kyle Monangai if he falls to 191.
I mean,
it might be crazy, man, but I would feel so fine with him being RB1 for us, dude. Like, I really would.
I'm big on RJ Harvey, dude. I think RJ Harvey is legit. Like, I think he's super sick. I wouldn't mind double dipping, go RJ Harvey here, and then do Kyle Monangai next. I mean, if he's there. So
yeah,
like to me, I think if the backfield is now RJ Harvey and Kyle Monangai, you got both.
What about Tootin?
Tootin, I love too. I mean, that guy scoots.
It's because he's younger.
Had a fumble problems, but you know, if you can clean that up, that dude is absolutely electric. Did you say he was younger? Tootin is?
Yeah.
Or is he the old guy? Yeah.
RJ Harvey, I think, is older.
Okay. Yeah,
Rashad Smith is really good too, man. There's a lot of those good like pass catching backs here.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm fine with. I'd be thrilled with RJ Harvey in the 4th.
Let's go with RJ Harvey, man.
All
Let's
right.
do it. Let's see. And yeah, we've covered, probably all 4 of our main positions of need here with the first 4 picks. Oh man, he's out of there. I guess we're gonna have to settle for Jordan James, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That would be a freaking nightmare. Eli Bet said A- draft. I think now it went down to a solid C+. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Well, let's see what we got. Pat Bryant is still available in this scenario, which is fun. He's kind of we already drafted Jack Bash. There's not really a point to picking him. Are you guys Will Shepherd fans? I was a little surprised, Jeremy, you didn't have him in your day 3 list.
Yeah, so I actually left off all the CU guys for a specific reason, and I was going to ask you earlier, if you had the option, let's say all of the late CU guys are there, who's your player of choice?
Will Shepherd.
For sure.
Yeah, because he can play on special teams, he can tackle. Again, I like my wide receivers big and fast, and he's big and fast.
Yeah. Yeah, because
he's solid, man.
Yeah, I mean, because I've heard people, it's kind of pick your flavor,
Yeah.
Jimmy Horn, a dog, and there's a lot to like about all 3 of those guys. So yeah, no, I'm fine with any of them. But I didn't do that specifically because I was gonna. You're the CU guy. I wanted to let you. Make your selection.
Probably where I'd rank him for the Broncos would be Will Shepherd, then LeJontay Wester, then Jimmy.
Okay.
I worry about Jimmy's durability. Dude's always hurt. He's always got something going on. Wester, he just gets open, man. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be just a designated slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I like it. I'm good with wherever you guys want to go here. I like Ricky White a lot too. Dude. If you want like the best special teams player in the draft, he might be it. And he can get open.
Let me see who else we got on the defensive line. Puglisi is still available. Elijah Roberts.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be there in the 4th. God,
that's crazy.
He would be like you sprint. You sprint that up.
A lot of mocks have Puglisi in the 6th, which it's like, come on. What are you doing?
No, that's crazy.
Dude,
you never know, man.
Dude, where are these guys taking, man? Where these guys are falling 40 spots below?
That's what's so weird about this draft. This draft is so wide open on like it's all in the, it doesn't seem like there's a big difference between the guy from 50 to 125. It could be literally, you could pick anybody in there and make your case. So,
yeah,
another
thing too, like, and you never know with these guys' medicals. I mean, there's always that one guy every year or a couple guys that always fall. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, it's because of medicals. It's like, they don't release any of that beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot to list punter.
Oh, yeah. I
did. James Burnham, the Australian guy. Give me an Australian lefty.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. That would mess up some returners for real.
That's what what's his name seems to like.
Our special teams coach?
Rizzi, yeah, Darren Rizzi.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about the lefty, but he's been signing like crazy amounts of just Australian punters that boom in.
They got crazy legs, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Oh, I'm not trying to pick Ross James. Jeremy, where do you want to go here?
What have we done so far?
We got running back, tight end, wide receiver, defensive line.
Okay, so we've hit all of our needs, so we can kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
Is Upton Stout there, cornerback?
No, what Kobe Bryant is. That's interesting.
Oh, I like Kobe Bryant as well.
Yeah, Shamari Simmons. Yeah, don't like Nico Reed. He sucks. All right. Yeah, who we got safety? Whoops.
There's your boy Hunter Wohler.
Yeah, I like Hunter Wohler. Remember, what's his face coached him and recruited him? Our secondary coach, what's his name? Jim Leonard.
Oh yeah, I could see that happening.
Our future defensive coordinator.
I love how everybody's like, Vance is either going to get a head coaching job or he's going to get fired. Which it's like a 50-50 chance. Are you either going to get a promotion or you're going to get fired?
I know, it's funny, man. Linebacker, Kobe King, maybe. Cody Lindenberg's available. It's fun, but
Cody Lindenberg.
Who's on our list? Let's get back to our list, man.
Who do we got? Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to go with Pegues?
Oh, if he's there, yeah, I would say take Pegues.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Insane not to.
And then, Pat Bryant was still available. Trevor Etienne. You guys want to go with another running back of some sort? With Quint Allen, Lan Larson.
I think if we had RJ Harvey, you got to look at either Taj Brooks, Khalil Mullins, or Jordan James.
Yeah, I'd be down with one of that too.
What's his name? Bo Costa had a good video. I think he put it out today about his top running backs. He had Khalil Mullins was pretty high on him. I think he was at like a 13, but he said some pretty good things about him. So might go back and check out the Michigan guy. But
yeah,
a little more of a bruiser.
And Jordan James, he for his frame, that guy's shrugs off. I mean, he's a good runner, dude.
I like Jordan James.
Yeah, man. I do too.
Underrated.
And again, he would have chemistry as well.
I'm going to pound the table for Jordan James.
Do it.
All right. Thank you. I finally get a mock with Jordan James in here. Last pick. Pat Bryant's still available. Kobe Hudson, Ricky White still on the board. Interior line, we completely forgot about that. Jake Majors, Luke Kandra, Connor Colby, all still available.
Jake Majors started every single game for Texas the last 4 years. I mean, he lacks some of the size that you want, but the guy is just a good football player, and he's a backstop at the center position for you if anything happens to Wattenberg, or he's going to challenge Wattenberg day one. So I wouldn't mind him either.
I say cool. Let's go with it. We'll wrap it up here. All A's and B's.
There you go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We did much better the second time around, man. But
hey, man, we the first round we got Omarion Hampton. We got. I mean,
I like the first one more.
I don't even care what the grades say. Like that was a sick draft. Like
yeah, they were giving us Fs, but I liked it too.
Yeah, I mean, just because I mean you're picking one of their lower ranked guys like Zeke Bigger's late, but other than that, I mean, and he's not even going to be there most likely. But both of these drafts. That's the whole point of this exercise was. Don't freak out if we're not picking the position that you want in the round you want, because this is a deep draft. It's not a super like heavy draft in the first round, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's deep. So
yeah, and there's a lot. It's strange because there's a lot of guys that like some teams might have a second round grade on, and another team has like a 7th round grade on, just because it's like, what are you looking for? You know. Yeah. There's a lot of those guys, especially in the running back position. It's crazy. Like if you're looking for a quick, fast, elusive guy, there's a shitload of them. If you're looking for more bruisers, they're a little bit more fewer and far between. But it's like, what do you want? You know. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yep.
Oh no, Jeremy disappeared.
Sorry.
Well, man, Jeremy, I just love the fact that you put this together. I think that this was a really cool exercise. James giving you props for it. Everybody in the chat, man, thank you for being involved. Shout out again to Bo Casa. Y'all go subscribe to him, the One Chargers fan on YouTube. Show him some love. Come on.
He's like, I want to be
shout out to Chargers fan,
dude. Can you? Yeah. Are you sure you just don't want to become Broncos Casa?
Yeah, you want.
I think he low key does.
Yeah.
He wants to bolt the bolts, I think is what is happening.
He's one of those Chargers fans, and I love it. Like, you know, you go to the Chargers game, he's got his LaDainian Tomlinson jersey on, and then if the Broncos win, he just takes it off. He's got Peyton Manning underneath or something. He's like, what do you mean? This is my theme the whole time.
Yeah. No, my brother-in-law goes to that game every single year because they live in Southern California, and it's a home game every single time. He has all his friends come. They're all Broncos fans, and it's just like, oh man, that I love the fact that we have we have 2 home games against the Chargers, so it's nice.
It is nice.
Incredible, man.
They didn't work for us last year though. Whooped our ass.
Oh yeah, man, they swept us.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna change.
Freaking Harbaugh.
Yeah,
give me Colston Loveland and have him like the young Jedi beat the master and Jim Harbaugh.
Dude, that's right. Let's right. Go. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh is weird.
Here's the question: if we have an option of Colston Loveland or Kenneth Grant, both Michigan guys, at 20, and you have Jim Harbaugh at 22, how hilarious would it be if we picked one of the two and then Pittsburgh, like if we pick Colston Loveland and then Pittsburgh picks Kenneth Grant and he gets neither one, that would be delicious.
That would be delicious.
Be amazing. But now it seems like, man, Rodgers is done playing football, thank God. So,
oh, is that what he said?
The rumors are now.
Deciding.
Yeah, he's been offended by the way the Jets treated him, and he only wants to play for a true contender. Pittsburgh's not a true contender, no way. No.
I mean, true contender is?
That's what I'm saying. There's no true contender that needs a quarterback.
Well, right. Yeah, that's the whole point. Is like, no, yeah, you needed a quarterback to be a true contender. So,
I'm telling you, the best thing that happened for the Steelers is that who's even their quarterback right now? Do they even have it? Mason. I mean, what's that dude? Mason, whatever his name is gone.
Is it Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, no, Mason Rudolph went to the Titans.
Who is this third guy?
The best thing that they can do is whoever the hell's on the roster now, start them and actually lose enough games to pick high and then get your franchise guy. You cannot keep picking in the 20s and expect, without a franchise quarterback and expect to do anything. It's wild to me.
It's just funny how they had both Russ and Justin Fields, and they were basically like,
no, they got Mason Rudolph back.
Oh, did they? Yeah. See, start him. He did the same thing anybody else did the previous 5 years.
Yeah.
Literally. In fact, he probably ended up screwing him over because he ended up winning like 3 or 4 games a couple years ago to get him into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone through Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and now they're back to Mason Rudolph.
Back at it. That's how it works.
And Josh hires on Ryan Tannehill.
Man.
Who is it?
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah.
What about him? Oh, is he even
They're
playing
kicking the
football
tires.
still? Oh, they are.
No, I mean,
Did
but he
he
hasn't
play?
retired.
Yeah, because he didn't play last year, did he?
No.
Where do you think Shador is going to land?
New Orleans.
That's what I think too.
I think it's New York.
Giants?
The Giants?
At 3? Or you think they're trading back in?
Yeah, I think it's at 3.
Oh.
That's me.
I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, but ideally, I think it's better for his career if he ends up in New Orleans.
It would be damn cool though, like if Travis Hunter went to Cleveland and then Cleveland traded back in and took Shador, had them both. It would suck that they both went to Cleveland, but it would be cool that they're together. They're just in a shitty place.
With Jerry Jeudy. Yep. I know, that would be interesting.
No, I want Jerry Jeudy catching passes from freaking Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett like a total loser. That's what I want.
You know, I was thinking.
I was talking about this earlier today in my Buffs Discord. I think, we haven't even thought about this, but I think especially kind of in this year's rookie class, like we said, it's not like super top heavy, I think it's totally reasonable to think that he will have opportunity to win both offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Travis Hunter.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so amazing if that happened. That would be incredible.
Could you freaking imagine?
He's got the talent to. It's just
you just put him in the Hall of Fame after that. Freaking
it's just does anybody you have to have a franchise bad enough and desperate enough to actually do it. Because if he went to like an actual team that is decent, they would make him. They might give him a package or two,
Dude,
as a receiver or something, but they would like
imagine Travis Hunter in like the days where it was Belichick and Brady together in New England, and like the creative ways that they would utilize him. It would be crazy, dude. Yeah, they would have him doing all sorts of like just wild shit and killing it. Good Lord.
I was thinking if Jackson Dart or somebody is on the board and somebody wants to come up and jump the Steelers if they're worried about it.
It's going to be a huge, that's going to be a really big part.
That could be a nice spot to trade back to. That being said, if you have a guy, let's say you do have Colston Loveland and Kenneth Grant available, and then you're also getting phone calls. I would call Pittsburgh and be like, hey, we're getting phone calls. I'd rather give it to you, but we have some good offers to go back. If you want somebody at 20, if you want a quarterback, trade one spot up with us. We still would get Colston Loveland or Kenneth Grant, whoever we want, and you get an extra something.
Yeah, but it's also like, what are you getting? You move back one, you're probably going to get like a fourth in return.
But that's what I'm saying. You're guaranteed to get the guy you want, and you get the fourth, as opposed to like if you're trading back to like 26th or something, you might end up not getting either one of those guys, even though you might get more.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be the fun part.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I would love to trade back if we could.
Speaking of Eli's question here, David, what do you think about them retiring the jerseys 10 seconds after they left the team?
Okay, I'll put it this way. One, I understand that there's a little bit more of an argument around Shador, but I'm just going to say it. Both of their numbers should be retired at some point. Now, number 2 has historical significance throughout CU's history. Of course, Deion figures in the Hall of Fame. I would prefer for that number to still be worn as a legacy number. I would just prefer that. Mm-hmm. But CU's different. Nobody was complaining about USC retiring Caleb Williams' number last year. It's already retired. He won a Heisman. He won like 7 games in his last year with USC. Was there 2 years, but nobody wants to talk about USC. I hate the way in which it was announced. I hate the fact that it's happening at a spring game. I don't like that. I think both of them are absolutely deserving because, again, we were G5 bound. I still don't think we get invited to the Big 12 conference without them being there. And a lot of people want to complain about, well, you haven't honored these guys, which is very true. we have done a very poor job of honoring our greats. But it's not Travis Hunter's fault or Shedeur Sanders' fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
You can honor both of the players, and everybody wins.
I think I don't know. I feel like this is one of those moves that Prime really wanted to happen because he figured if he ever left, he probably would never retire it. So maybe I know there's some talk about that, but I love Deion, and I think everything Deion does, people hate, which is why you don't hear about. I had no idea Caleb Williams' jersey was retired either.
I didn't either.
Because you don't usually, people like to talk about Prime because they don't like him for whatever reason.
Yeah. So. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Rick George, at least that's the story, that like this has been the plan for months. But I think instead of announcing it 5 days before the spring game in an Instagram post, which it does come off of like you're just trying to sell tickets to a spring game, if this truly was the plan, it would have been great for them to have like a press conference to announce the whole thing, to like explain their heart behind things, hear Rick George out on why he wanted this done. He was talking about doing this last summer, if I remember correctly. Like this is something that's been on his mind for the last year. And when you think about those two players and how they've affected, Rick George specifically, I would understand why you'd want to do that. But if you weren't pounding the table for Deion Figures to have his number retired, since he has gone on past CU over the last like 30, 40 years or whatever, people just get annoyed. They all deserve credit. Shedeur absolutely does deserve credit. He's the best quarterback in our school history, record-wise and everything. Again, significance. There's context to this. CU isn't a typical college football program. There's nuance to it. But they could have done it a lot better with the press conference and then timing. I wish that both of them could have done it in a regular season game. It seems like they want both of them done at the same time, so that's hard to coordinate with NFL schedules. But I think also something that has played a factor in this is that you see players like why am I forgetting his name already? That cornerback that was drafted out of Oregon to the Vikings last year. There's pass away before training camp. Those types of things. And then
Kyrie Jackson.
Kyrie Jackson. There can always just be these freak accidents. Again, they don't happen super often, but their whole perspective is we would rather just be on the side of doing it too early and doing it while they're around than continuing to wait and Rashaan Salaam kills himself and you never did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's valid.
So that's just kind of the sad reality is that we waited way too long for a guy like Rashaan Salaam and it looks horrible. And we want to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, anything Deion does or happens around, even if it wasn't him doing it, it's going to be controversial, like just whatever it always is. But if they deserve it, I'm not going to get like all upset about the timing as much. I mean, does it seem really fast and premature and all these other people have to wait and they should have to wait, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't really care about the traditions as much as if these guys deserve it, that's fine. But it is interesting. Anything that happens again, or I don't know if it was Deion was like, hey, I want to make sure this gets done or whatever, but Colorado, they were like a non-factor 100% before. And they can, Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur Sanders completely revived a program that was on life support. And just for that alone, I'm not going to complain about any of that. So that's interesting. One other question I had for you guys. I know that you had certain thoughts, Marc. I'm interested to hear your guys' take. The Ashton Jeanty letter to the teams about drafting me. How do you feel about it? because a lot of people were like, "Get this guy immediately."
I thought it was really douchey.
Yeah.
I personally was just like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
Yeah, this is what a guy that comes off as like second place Heisman vote energy.
Yeah, I feel like it was such an agent play too.
Yeah, totally.
But like, dude, if I opened it up, I'd be like, okay, thanks, Ashton. Like, we didn't know you were the best freaking running back in this draft. Like,
yeah, it's almost like
why are you dropping Saquon Barkley's name, man? Don't you want to be better than Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, Saquon. Who was even drafted by the Eagles? So it goes against your whole like, pick me so I can leave after my rookie contract and go to the Super Bowl somewhere else.
This is it. You know what it is? He's like, everybody in their mom is mocking him. It's number 6 to the Raiders. He's like, I need somebody to come up and get me. Yeah. Come and get me. Anybody.
For the love of God, I don't want to go to Vegas.
For the love of God, I will bend heaven and earth for you. Just let me not go to the Raiders. I don't know. I don't need. It was just unnecessary to me. It's like, what are we doing? It just seemed like an agent. I don't know what.
It was so cringe, man. It was so cringe. Yeah, he's down on my board. I don't want any of my Broncos doing cringe stuff, man. The only thing I'm cool with that's cringe is smoking root beer vapes.
Let's go.
Drinking especially you got to do whatever we can to stay away from that guard that left Georgia. I forgot his name even now.
I'll never forget Clay Webb.
Just I'm going to make an entire dedicated video on him. Unbelievably epic.
Shooting Clay.
Unbelievable.
Into a Powerade. Yeah, no, Stifler, man. That's who even though that happened like 6 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, who knows? I
don't care if it happened 20 years ago.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I don't really care about that Bill Cosby stuff.
I'm just saying, like,
never drink it.
That's a long time. That's a long time ago. I've done some stupid crap when I was like in high school. So
yeah, we've all done Bill Cosby stuff.
No, not that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that excuses anything. I'm just saying like he might not be anywhere near that person anymore. Who knows? But that's a pretty crazy story. That was wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. Guys, I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm about to fall asleep. I'm so tired.
Oh yeah, I was literally about
man. So I'm gonna shut this thing down, but let's be sure, Jeremy, Marc, to get together after the draft concludes, so we can break this whole thing down.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
This is exciting times. 1 week away.
And chat, Eli, Pineapple, Breeze, Bolt Casa, Bronco Casa, Big E, Cody, everybody in here, thank you so much for engaging with us.
Yeah,
1 week left, baby. And then, we can finally get to hyping up these guys for 4 months. Cannot wait. So smash that like, subscribe. Marc, did you make 1,000 subs yet?
Nah, man. 977.
Let's go get Marc 1,000. Let's go.
I need 3 assholes to not be like assholes. Go over there and subscribe to Marquee Sports. In the description, his channel's tag. Come on now. It doesn't
and subscribing, it doesn't even recommend or doesn't even do anything. Like it does nothing. It's just a nice thing to do.
Just click the button.
Yeah.
We can do it right now. We can get it done tonight. We got to get it done.
Send you guys some root beer.
There you go.
Dude, let's go. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll be back tomorrow. Jeremy, Marc, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, brother.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos, baby.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Go Broncos.